Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now if this is your first time here, hey, welcome. My name is Dianne and I am super excited that you found your way here. Okay you guys, this is going to be my episode 1 recap of the challenge season 33, War of the Worlds. I'm going to give you guys a little background tea of what happened during that first episode. You know, certain things that were not shown when the episode was aired. So yeah, if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I don't know what y'all waiting for, but go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to be a part of the notification squad, then go ahead and hit that notification button so you will be notified whenever I upload new videos. Shout out to Slavon Nation because y'all be on it. Every time I upload a new video, it's like, it's a new one. So I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea how it makes me feel when you guys get excited about these videos. So anyway, now that we done got that out the way, go ahead and get your cups and let's get into it. New video. Let's go.
All of these detours, I cannot be sure if this is the right way, but I stay on pace. Yeah, I'm on my way. Tell them I'm on my way.
And the pier.
On my way, on my way, on
Wait
my
a
way.
damn minute.
I'm on my way, on my way. Tell them I'ma get this show.
So we get on these ATVs and we're riding all through this desert, through these sand dunes, like, I mean, going in. I'm having so much fun. It's like, it's sand everywhere. It's blowing all in my face. By the time I was done, I looked like I had just got through like kissing a bag of flour. Like I was white, Casper white, okay? And it was just everywhere, right? So we finally get to the prospects and, you know, we see TJ, we see them, and they looking at us and we looking at them, and they looking back at us and we looking back at them. You know, like everybody is just kind of sizing everybody up, getting those first impressions of each other, right? So TJ lets us know today is going to be our very first challenge. So now everybody is in game mode. Like, oh yeah, ooh, it's nice. I meet you, you meet me, but hold up. It's time to go to work. So everybody is in game mode now. So our very first challenge is called Impending Dune. Now how this works is it's this big ass sand dune behind us. I mean tall, huge sand dune behind us. I'm talking Agrabah, Aladdin, Jafar, and the 40 Thieves in the damn Cave of Wonders. Huge, right? It was really big, okay? And intimidating, okay? And so our job was we had to start at the top of the sand dune, and then there were these 3 crates that were positioned up there, and each crate had like all these balls inside of them. So when TJ blew the horn, the crates would open, which would release the balls to roll down the sand dune. So when they roll down, we're supposed to grab a ball, run back up the sand dune, trade out the ball for a bag of puzzle pieces, get the bag of puzzle pieces, run down the sand dune, and then solve this puzzle. That was not easy, okay? When I tell y'all that shit was hard, it was hard. But I mean, it had to be done because there was a lot of shit at stake today, okay? This was a purge for the prospects. TJ lets us know that the last 2 for the prospects to finish, they're going home. So they can't even play around right now. But he also let us know, like, yeah, you guys are the vets, but you're not really safe either. Like, don't go up here and just like act like you cool too, because this is now based on ranking. So how you finish, you will be ranked in that order later on in the game. And I'm like, huh? So my goal is I have to get first place because I don't know what this means. I don't want to be last. So let me go ahead and try to get first, right? So they can't even play around right now. Like the prospects can't even play around right now. You feel what I'm saying? The last 2 are going home. So it's a lot at stake for them. But TJ also lets us know, like, granted, even though all of the vets are safe, like we're all guaranteed going into the house, but something is at stake for us today too. So however we complete this challenge, that's going to be our ranking order. And that ranking order is going to be beneficial for something later on in the season. And so I'm like, huh? Like, he's like, yeah, like that's going to be very important. So when you plan, you might want to go ahead and give your all. And I'm mad because I see this big ass sand dune behind me and this ain't it. Like this ain't the move for me. So I'm upset because I was excited when TJ was like, vets, you guys are safe. I was like, cool, I ain't got to do shit. I get to sit back and just watch the, prospects do their thing. But now that TJ done, put pressure on us and lit this fire up under my ass, now I actually have to do some work, this damn sand dune. I'm not excited about it, but I don't want to come in last. I definitely want to come in first because whatever this ranking order means, I want to be able to have first dibs. So I got to try to pull this one out. And that's how I felt going into this first challenge. So TJ lets us know that it's going to be a girls' heat and a guys' heat. And the guys are going to go first, which is great for me because, honey, I love to watch a challenge before I do it. Ain't nothing like when they do the random draw and they don't say, Dianne, you're first. Because let me watch, let me see your trial and error before I go ahead and go and do mine. So definitely excited that we get to watch the guys go first. So the guys go to the top of the sand dune and it's time to go to work. The guys go up there, they get into position, and then TJ blows the horn. When he blows the horn, only 2 of the crates open, but the horn is blown, the crates open, and the balls come flying down. And so the guys start running down the hill, and then TJ blows the horn again because the 3rd crate never opened. So they had to reset. I felt so bad for the guys because, oh my gosh, I know their legs were burning because they literally all ran down and had to run right back up to reset so that they can start over. I felt so bad for them, but they reset the game, made sure that 3rd crate was working. Everybody went back to their positions. TJ blew the horn. The crates released the balls came rolling down, and everybody started going crazy. When I tell you those guys were not playing on the top of that sand dune, how the hell they was running down that sand dune and rolling down that sand dune. I don't know. Safety 911. It didn't look safe to me. So in my mind, I was already at the bottom strategizing like, Dianne, when you get up there, you get your ball, you sit on your ass, and you slide down. We not running, we not tumbling, we not rolling. We sitting on our ass, and we are sliding down. I don't give a damn if you got to sit on your ass and crab walk all the way to the bottom. You will not be tumbling down, okay? So I'm watching the guys go at it. Leroy and Chase, they have a little wrestling thing going on over the same ball. Leroy comes out victorious. You know, he grabs the ball. They run back up. The boys are just all over the damn place, right? So they come down and they all start doing their puzzles. Oh my gosh. Watching these guys do this puzzle, we couldn't see the puzzle. We couldn't see what they were doing. But for the amount of time it took them to complete the puzzles, we started thinking like, damn, this puzzle is going to be super hard because it was taking them forever to complete it. Forever to complete it, okay? If you watch the episode, you can see how much the sun is starting to set in between the guys' heat and our heat. Like you see the sun, like it's setting. You can see the time change, like the time difference between the two. Like they took forever to solve their puzzles. So they get to going on these puzzles. Alan comes down and Alan takes a hard fall. I mean, a hard fall. You could see his hand, and I was like, ooh, but he wasn't fazed by it. So I was like, hey, maybe he's not in that much pain. But then we saw the blood, and I'm like, ooh, he about to get his blood all over these puzzle pieces. Like, that's about to be, ooh. So that show you how my mind works. I'm like, oh, he about to get his blood all over these puzzle pieces. Oh my gosh, who's gonna touch them puzzle pieces? Like, not to say it's anything wrong with him, but it's a person's blood, and so I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh, I just don't want them puzzle pieces. Like. But is he okay though? Like, is he okay? So you see Theo, okay? And now Theo's ball has rolled all the way down the sand dune. So he had to run all the way down, grab his ball, and run all the way back up to switch it out and get his puzzle pieces. When I tell you, he was moving up this sand dune. Listen, them legs, them long legs was moving. He didn't seem like he was winded. Didn't seem like none of that. He was just in that desert with that ball. Like, I got to make it because I got to get in this house. Like, he was moving on up that dune to get his puzzle pieces, right? So now everybody is doing their puzzles. Polly finishes first out of everybody, vets and prospects. Polly finishes first. So now we know that in the guys' heat, you know, as far as the guys' ranking, Polly is number 1. I'm like, big brother coming in hot. Like, I'm super excited about that. So then right behind him, Ashley Kane finishes for the prospects. He finishes first for the guys. And so then right behind that, everybody just started finishing except for damn Josh. And I'm like, hey, okay, you are my number 1. You are the ally of my allies, okay? You need to finish this damn puzzle because you can't go home. Like, hey, get your shit together. together. So I'm yelling at him. I'm like, Josh, because he's so flustered. Like, he's seeing everybody finish. And so now he's looking over at everybody. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, it's puzzles done. Look at the other puzzles. Everybody else been doing it. Like, as they were finishing, everybody would go look at other people's puzzles. And that's how they were finishing. I'm like, Josh, like, I understand. Like, you want to say, oh, I did this on my own and I won on my... Go, take your ass over there and go look at one of them finished puzzle pieces and run back over here and finish your shit. Everybody else been doing it. Go do it. So he's struggling. And I'm just like, I'm watching him lose, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So finally, it comes down to him and Gus. I know Gus from Floribama Shore, but I don't know Gus, okay? So I'm rooting for Josh hardcore, like, come on, you got to pull this out, you got to pull this out, you got to pull this out. But I'm looking over at Gus, and I see that he's like figured it out. You know when you doing a puzzle, and then that light bulb go off, like, oh, this is where this piece go, and this is where this piece go. I saw the light bulb click for him, and I'm like, oh, shit. So he gets it. TJ blows the horn, and I can see the hurt all over Josh's face, and it broke my heart. Like, I was bawling because I know how excited he was to be here. And I was excited for him to be here too. So to see him come and then just have to go immediately after he got here, I was just like, wow. It was heartbreaking. It was so heartbreaking, and I felt so bad to see my baby go. So I ran over, gave him a hug. Got in trouble too because I wasn't supposed to run and hug him, but I ran over, gave him a hug, and then I got my shit together because now I'm in game mode. Like, yeah, Josh, I'm sorry you got to go home, but shit, I'm still competing, so let me get my mind ready. So now it's time for the girls to go to the top of the hill and position themselves to get ready for the girls' heat, right? And so we had to come up through the back of the sand dune. And when I tell you guys, it was steep. It was so steep. It literally was like this. And we had to climb all the way to the top, right? So before we got up there, me and Cam decided that because, you know, I'm her number one, she my number one, we have to look out for each other. What we're going to do is we're going to get 2 balls apiece. So we're going to try to anyway, get 2 balls apiece. So if she has 2 balls and I have 2 balls, then if she doesn't get a ball, I have an extra one for her. If I don't get a ball, then she has an extra one for me. And that was our strategy going up to the top of the hill, just making sure we were able to look out for each other, you know? So I was excited about that. I knew I had her and she had me, and we was ready to go. So when we were down there and we were watching the guys' heat, I noticed that in that middle crate, when it released the balls wouldn't go straight down the hill like on the other 2 sides. It would roll off to the side first and then slide down. So when I went to the top of the sand dune, I was like, I need to stand next to this middle crate so when the balls slide to the side, I can just grab them, because Lord knows I wasn't trying to climb to the bottom of that sand dune and have to come all the way back up. So strategically, I was like, I placed myself right next to that middle crate. So when the ball came out, I was right there, okay? So I stood right there. Cam stood on the other side of me, and then all the rest of the girls just kind of like fell in wherever they could, right? So TJ blows the horn and the ball start rolling out. I grab 2. I see Cam. She got 2. She look at me. I'm good. I look at her. She good. We good to go. And we just, okay, sis, now you on your own. I'm on my own. Let's get the roll up. I switch my ball out. I get my puzzle pieces, and I'm ready to go. When I'm coming down the hill, I notice that Nani grabs the green ball. Now, the significance of the green ball is if you get that one, then that one will give you a hint of how to solve the puzzle at the bottom. So when you get that, when you go up and you get to grab a special bag with a clue inside of it to tell you how to solve the puzzle, right? So Nani grabbed that one. I didn't give a damn. I wasn't trying to grab no other color. I didn't care what it was. I was just trying to get a ball, you know? So thank God I was able to get 2. Could check for my girl. She checked for me. Like I said, we was good to go. So I told y'all I was not going to tumble down this hill. I wasn't going to roll. I wasn't going to do none of that stuff. I was going to get on my ass and I was going to slide down. And that's exactly what I did. Everybody running in front of me and I'm just watching them. I'm scooting my ass down the hill. I didn't care. Say what you want. They was laughing at me. I did not care. I was not about to get injured. No, this is the first challenge. I'm not about to hurt myself. It's a whole game left to play. And I'm not going to injure myself in the first one. That ain't going to be her. So I get to the bottom finally, and I empty all the puzzle pieces on top of my board. All of them. I go and stick my hand in the bag and make sure it's nothing in there, and I got all the puzzles there. Boom. I start on the outside. Just like when you're doing a puzzle, you work on the edges first, and then you work your way in. I start on the outside, and I start to make my way in. I get to that very last piece. I put it in there and I start screaming. Now, the reason I was screaming like I was screaming is because, you know, coming into this season, I was like, I have to prove to myself that I can do this. You know what I mean? Last season, I didn't do bad, but I didn't do great. You know, I wanted to come in and do great this season. And this is the first challenge. And we're back in South Africa. Like, if I can come in and I can win the first challenge, do you know? Like it made me feel great. So when TJ came and checked and I had it correct, I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. So my mind is still on the team, right? So I step back, but when I step back, I slide over to where Cam is, and I'm eyeing her puzzle, trying to see how she's doing. And she cannot get this damn puzzle together, like for nothing. And so I'm looking at her pieces, and I'm like, okay, well, move this around and put this here and put that there, whoop, whoop, whoop. And I'm getting in trouble because I'm shouting shit out. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe if I shout out shit to everybody, I won't get in trouble for trying to help Cam. So I'm going to everybody like, oh, move this here, slide that over there, put this piece right here, do this, do that. So then I go back over to Cam. Come to find out, all her pieces weren't out of her bag. She was still missing a piece. It was still in her bag. So once she pulled that last piece out and she got the shuffling and moving and getting her shit together, then she finally got the piece and puzzle was complete. Walked on off like the boss and did her shit. Came in second for the vets, but by that time, Ninja Natalie, had finished first for the prospect. So now you have me, Ninja, and Cam chilling on the sidelines, waiting on everybody else to finish. And this is kind of, you know, it's intense because I need all my big brother girls to get in. So I'm watching their puzzles, trying to see what they're doing and, you know, just making sure everything's good. While we on the sideline, Cam is talking to me about Zahida. And she's telling me that that's Kaylee's friend, and she already has a rapport with Zahida. So if Zahida makes it to the game, that's somebody to have with us. And I'm like, okay, I don't know her, but okay, that's great. So I'm cheering her on. And, you know, I'm watching these girls start to figure out the puzzle. So finally, everyone finishes, and it comes down to Liz and Zahida. Now, I know Cam done told me that, you know, Zahida and Kaylee and that connection there, but Liz is from Big Brother. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know Zahida at this time. I know Liz, okay? And I need Liz in this house for this Big Brother alliance. So I see Liz getting flustered. Like, she was making me so angry because Liz was figuring out the puzzle. But because she was so in her head about it, she would figure it out and then pull the entire thing apart and start over from scratch. And I'm like, what are you doing? So I was yelling at her. I was like, Liz, calm your ass down and get this puzzle together. Get it together because I need you to get in this house. So I'm screaming at her and I'm telling her, like, do it. And so I'm like, Devon, you know, shut up, let her focus. And then when I shut up, Julia starts screaming. Julia, like, focus, get your shit together. Like, we want her to be in the house. Next thing I know, Zahida figures it out. And Liz is at the bottom. And it was so weird because two Big Brother people finished first for the vets, and then two Big Brother people went home for the prospects. So it was bittersweet, but it really sucked seeing Liz and Josh have to go home like that. That really broke my heart because I was excited to play with both of them, especially Josh, because like I said, that's my number one guy. So watching him leave really, really sucked like that. That hurt my feelings. But that first place that I brought in to start this season off, I said, flop where? What flop? Who's a flop? I was so excited and so proud of myself. And it felt good. It felt really good. Now Liz and Josh are gone and it sucks. But now we get to finally see this house. And everyone is excited, especially the prospects, because they've been living in a tent. So we were at the hotel. They were living in a tent. So I know they are super excited to see the house and the showers, okay? So the bus ride there was fun. You know, everybody was talking. I sat next to Cam, so me and Cam could strategize. When I tell you, me and Cam are the most strategizing people I've ever met in my life. I thought me and Jose were constantly in strategy mode. That girl right there, we constantly were strategizing and just going over different scenarios about what was going to happen in this game. Like, and it was really weird to watch our brains play off of each other. Like, I haven't come in contact with somebody who really like strategizes for real the way that I do. So it was very interesting picking her brain this season. Like that was very interesting. Yeah, so the bus ride there was great. Everybody is talking, getting to know each other. We're talking about who we want in our room. So I tell Cam, listen, Amanda and Ashley, they only have them this season. You know what I'm saying? So they probably feel a little vulnerable this season. Let's put them in our room. Because me and Kim had already decided we were going to stay in the same room. So I'm like, let's put them in our room. And she was like, huh? I'm like, put them in our room. Because one thing about Ashley, Ashley is smart. Ashley is a strategist as well. But while her ass is strategizing, I need to be in the same room with her so I can see what she's doing. Just in case she plotting against me, I'll know it before she can go ahead and put the plan into motion. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to have all eyes on her at all times. Like, I know who I'm playing with, so I want to make sure I can watch sis throughout this game. So put her and Amanda in the room with us. And so I was like, maybe we can get two other people in the room with us as well. She really wanted Zahida to be in the room with us. Again, I didn't know Zahida at the time. So I was like, but like I told you guys in my first impressions video, I heard her before I saw her, and her voice just made me feel like, oh my gosh, this girl is going to be a good time. So I was on board with that. And then I had instantly fallen in love with Georgia. So I wanted Georgia in our room as well. And then I also wanted Maddie in our room. And so I was just like, we were just like playing off these ideas on the bus ride there. So we finally get to the house, and everybody takes off running trying to find a room. Even my ass ran it. Y'all know I hate running. So I take off running trying to find a room, and that back room back there, me and Johnny found that room at the same time, okay? Me and Johnny found that room at the same time. And so he sat down on the bed, and so I sat on the bed too. I'm like, I ain't moving if you ain't moving. So he starts screaming, guys, boys. So I start screaming for the girls. I'm like, anybody, somebody come back here, because majority rules. So if I could have got the girls to come in that back room and they just start sitting on these beds, Johnny would have had to leave because we would have won. We would have outnumbered him. And so I'm like, okay, Dianne, be proactive. You got to do something because no girls are coming. So I get up and I go run in the hallway and I'm screaming, girls, come back here now. And I'm screaming. And so by that time, I walked back in and the other guys had started to walk into the back room. And I'm like, damn, that's when you guys see me and Bear walk into the room, because now I've lost. Because I couldn't find none of the other damn girls to come in the room with me. So the room is full of guys who have clearly outnumbered me. So now I have to find another room. So I'm walking throughout the house and I see Cam. She found our room. So she was in there, and she was in there with Zahida and Georgia. And so I tell Ashley and Amanda, like, hey, you guys come in here. Like, come room with us. So they put their shit in there. So in our room, it was me, Cam, Georgia, Zahida, Amanda, and Ashley. That's how our room was stacked. And I felt really, really good about my roommates. I felt really good about my roommates. So I think the next thing you guys see is the conversation between me and Cam, where we're strategizing again about who we would want to pick if we get the opportunity to pick a prospect to be on a team with us. Whoever we're going to pick is going to be two guys that are connected because we're connected. So we want to make sure their alliance and our alliance kind of works together. You know what I'm saying? And we already knew that it was a lot of Brits here. So it's like, hey, we might as well pick a Brit. And I told you guys, I was already eyeing Bear because Bear had a lot of things going for him. Like I said, he's won before, Big Brother, and he was a Big Brother, and he was a part of the UK Alliance. My child. He was a part of the UK Alliance. So everything just worked out. And I don't know, I was really excited about Bear, but I didn't want to talk to him first. I wanted to make sure I talked to everybody, and I was going to save him for last because I already had good thoughts about him, so I really didn't need to interview him. But everybody else, I wanted to really just kind of see where their head was. My thing was, everybody, like, all of the other vets were like, well, I want this person, and I want that person. And my thing was, that's cute, but I want to see what they're like when they get drunk. That's what I want to see first. Let me see what this person is like once they get some alcohol in their system. Because it'd be just my luck. I pick somebody who's amazing at the challenges and this, that, and the third. But once they get the alcohol in their system, they start acting like an ass. And then I'm screwed. And then I become a target, you know? So through my mind. Of course, the challenge people brings us alcohol. Everybody starts to turn up, and now I'm watching everybody. Let me see how you act when you get a little liquor in your system. But come on, let's sit down and talk. So I talked to everybody. I talked to the girls, I talked to the guys, and the three people that really, really stood out to me were Gus, Turbo, and Bear. Those were my top three choices. Those were the three people I was like, ooh. Theo was one of them too, but me and Theo decided that it wouldn't be good for us to be on the same team. And I'll put a pin in that, and we'll talk more about that later. And the only reason I keep saying we'll put a pin in that and we'll talk about it later is because I'm not trying to get in trouble. You know, some things I can't talk about until it airs, and so I don't want to talk about it. But me and Theo did decide we don't need to be on each other's team. So, my three people were Bear, Turbo, and Gus. I really liked Gus. Like I said, I felt like even though he came like last in the first challenge, his hunger to be here was crazy. And then just sitting down talking to him as a person, like he was a really cool person. You know, when we first had that, he was cool. So I'm like, yeah, when he was, drinking, he wasn't acting crazy. When he was drinking, he was just mellow and he was just peeping out the scene like me. And I'm like, oh, you might be all right to have on my team. So definitely was looking at him. Turbo. Now, when it came to Turbo, I knew he had all the guys intimidated. And so I'm like, okay, that might be a good thing. And then the fact that he won Survivor twice. Okay, it was all type of rumors going around about Turbo. He won Survivor twice. Apparently, during one of the times when he was performing, his rib popped out of place, and he had to pop it back in place, and he popped it back in place and kept running the final. And I'm like, what? Like all type of rumors was going around about Turbo, and I'm just like, oh, he might be good, but let me talk to him because part of being a team is communicating, and I know that his accent is very heavy. But let me tell you something. Turbo, like I said, he was very interested in learning English and learning to proper communicate. So having a conversation with him, at first, it was hard. I had to constantly, would you say? Say it again. Repeat that for me. But once we actually started to talk, it was good. Like, it was so good. Like, Turbo, I was like, you it. Like, you are it. You know what I'm saying? And so again, that night, I did not talk to Bear at all. I talked to everybody else except Bear. I felt like I didn't need to talk to Bear that night, And so